I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Your host Superman in the house. Man, the market's in red, but PulseChain has lots of bullish news coming out, so it's good times on the PulseChain, even with the price pullback. Nice time to DCA, but a lot of positive things happening on PulseChain during this market pullback. And we know that typically the 20 days in the year, you're going to get your big pullbacks and your big rallies. And so this could be the second big washout before we get the big move towards the end of the year and into the new year. So I'm pretty excited about it. We had a liquidation, and now we've had another scare in the market, and shake out weekend. So we're going to keep the tabs on that. Bitcoin fighting to stay at $100,000. We're going to talk about that as well. And we've got so many updates, guys. It's going to be huge. The big one, I think, is pretty interesting. Something came left field, and that is Matt Wallace. So we're going to talk about Matt Wallace, just a huge influencer on X, and big audience, new audience, fresh audience. I cannot say that enough. A really huge audience in the US and around the world for Matt Wallace. So that's going to be really huge for Internet Money and Time Token as well. Of course, introducing a lot of people, potentially a lot of people. Like we're talking about tens of thousands of people, potentiality to PulseChain. So we're going to talk about that too. So that's really, really cool. I was really happy when I saw that. So it's going to be really neat. Let's get into it. We got Crypto Wally in the house there. Hello. A bit in overtime, says Crypto Wally. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm starting my show a little bit early, I think. it might be 5 p.m. Eastern now. I think I was doing 7. Daylight savings is hit, of course, and I think in the US for where it's applied. And so we're a little bit early there. What else is going on? We've got a huge lineup. Look at that lineup. We got PCock. We got XGame. We can talk about that. Coinwell, Briah. We've got Time and Matt Wallace and many other projects. We're going to be talking about PulseChain. We're going to be talking about PulseChain stats. We've got a lot in store, and we're going to do a market coverage a bit more deeper than we normally do. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. First of all, don't forget to share the show on X. Just take a moment to hit the repost button. It really helps a lot, and I encourage you to do it for a lot of other PulseChain and other influencers that you like. So definitely get out there and support the crew as things are starting to wake up or getting ready to rumble. Obviously, we're going to be covering Liberty Swap, which has been just a juggernaut on that as well. They're ramping up their ecosystem. So even though the market might go up and down, they are really rolling out just an absolute juggernaut for PulseChain. I always call it the Stargate to other chains or the gateway to PulseChain. Either way, it's fantastic, and we're going to be watching that journey. It is a hold, in my view. Now, you do your own due diligence, not financial advice, but that is just, I think, going to lead PulseChain into glory. It really is exciting. So we're going to get into all that too. But anyway, hit the repost button and, leave comments, like, share, and all the good stuff. Now, let's get into the main topic. We're going to start off with the stock market, see how that went overnight. Obviously, Tuesday's results for the week. So let's check that out and see what's happening there. We can see at the moment, before I get into that, actually, you can see the scrolling ticker at the bottom. Now, the scrolling ticker has Bitcoin and Ethereum. It has all the Richard Hart cores like Pulse, PulseX, Inc., and Hex, and of course Hex on both chains. But it also has some key people that we have good relationships with. We've got RhinoFi in there, and I really be glad to introduce 2 new project teams that are now on the list. Is Emmett Farms, which is fantastic with Kairos, and we've got Heartwood Dog, Pulse of the Fallen, LMA series. So congratulations to both of those teams. They're now on the scrolling ticker. So great stuff there. Some of the hot projects on PulseChain being profiled. So we're, playing our role to do as much as we can for, really good teams out there that we have good relationships with. So very, very excited about that. So congratulations to both of those teams. All right, so stock market today, S&P 500 slumps after Wall Street CEOs warn on valuations. And, coming up on the 19th of May is a very important time for the stock market. We have NVIDIA's returns, right? NVIDIA. Now, if you think about it, we're in a intelligence revolution. Some say the 4th industrial age. And, of course, with AI, which could be the perhaps the greatest technological innovation of our time, if not in history. Human history, we'll see. Obviously, history, we're managing to design a lot of cool things, and maybe wormhole technology or something like that. I don't know, but we'll see. And so, yeah, we've got a little bit of news there on the 19th of November. That's going to be very important, and that's what 14, 15 days away. And of course, they are the big AI chip maker. They're the most advanced chip maker, and we're going to see how that goes. This came out with the Blackwell chip, of course, the super duper Blackwell chip. And we're going to see how that goes, but we're going to keep an eye out on that. So just to let you guys know, 19th of November, keep that, pencil that in for the video. It's going to be a very important date here. All right, so some CEOs warn on valuations, but I think the valuations are fine. We've seen good analysis from Tom Lee, so I don't really think that's a long-term driver there. Dow Jones at the moment down 0.5%, 251 points to 47,000. That's on the 30 big industrials in there. S&P 500 down 1.17%, 80 points to 6,771. NASDAQ there down 2% at the moment, 486 points to 23,348. So definitely a correction in the market today, and no doubt a healthy one off the record highs. So it's good to have a little bit of pullback before we keep moving on. Volatility index up 10.8%. 1.8 points to 19 on the S&P 500. US dollar is back up strong, over 100 again. That's pretty significant. And it's let's see where that goes. I actually like a strong US dollar. I think that's a good sign. West Texas oil $60.40, down 1%. Brent oil $64. So oil still looking really good, cheaper, feeding into the whole of the inflation in the US. So pretty cool there. Gold, however, hasn't taken the risk off. It is down 1.8%. $72 down to 3,941, and we've got silver there down 2.4%, $1.15 to $46.89. So those commodities down. Gold in particular, of course, not being quite the safe haven there that people might expect, along with Bitcoin, of course. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. Now, the reason why this is really important is the investment banks have all the big clients and the investment advisors, etc. So they've got all the network, right? And this is a very important thing to understand, is that even though you might be in a good stock, this or that, but if you get concern out of these big investments banks, they move markets very quickly. It's very something in investments you really need to get your head around, is the extension of these networks and how powerful they are. And of course, they've got billions and billions of billions, trillions of dollars of investments. So Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley said they expect a material corrections in the stock market amid concerns that valuations have stretched too far. Now, there will be analysts like Tom Lee that will probably push back on a lot of the stuff, and typically he's the one that's been right. So, in terms of predicting S&P 500, I think even last year he was the only analyst that got it right, and all the others got it wrong. And so, but that's not the point. The point is these guys have sway, right? They have sway, and they've got the network. So as soon as they start saying stuff, people pull their money out. See what I mean? It's it's really quick, happens real fast. We should welcome the possibility that there would be drawdowns 10 to 15%, guys, 10-15%. So that's a significant correction zone. Obviously, a major correction would be something like 30%, but this is 10 to 15% that are not driven by some sort of macro cliff effects, says Morgan Stanley. The remarks were echoed by Goldman CEO David Solomon, warning that technology multiples are still believe that the sell-off is likely a delayed reaction to cooling expectations on the December Fed rate cut. That's also in the mix, and we're going to look at the percentage of that in a minute. While high valuations are probably working to impede further gains in the stock indices, we think that the sell-off comes as a delayed reaction to the Fed's avowed willingness to reduce its policy rate in December. And of course, that's been a big issue in the rate cycle. So we've moved into a more dovish rate cycle, and so that's bullish for crypto generally. But at the moment, we're still getting people a bit concerned that that's going to be stuck, stopped right in the middle of what we expected to be quite a nice aggressive, not aggressive, but a nice step-by-step reduction in the federal funds rate, which is currently at 4%. Fed Chair Jerome Powell suggested that last week the interest rate cut by US central banks might be the last of the year. Both his colleagues, Mary Daly and Governor Lisa Cook, indicated that an easing at the February meeting was still a possibility, and we're going to see what the market thinks that is right now. We'll have a look up there. On the economic front, meanwhile, the latest ISM manufacturing index, and this is really what people are looking at, is still this is actually a bullish sign, right? The ISM manufacturing index, because it means that we've got the economy cycle and the economic cycle in our favor, big time. And so we're going to check that out. Showed factory activity in US contracted for an 8th straight month in October after a reading of 48.7, below the 50 point mark, which separates growth from contraction. That's probably the one thing to remember. If it's below the 50, it's in contraction. The ongoing government shutdown, which we're going to talk about next, which is flirting with becoming the longest such close down in US history, has left investors and Fed policymakers without a range of critical data points need to establish the state of the US economy. Now, we do know that it starts to affect at an increasing time about $10 billion a day, and that starts to increase is the number I've seen, the impact of that. So that does start to accumulate. Typically, you can run where they are now. It's actually just starting to bite now. We're around the programs and state sector staff getting paid and things like that. So it is getting there. So that's kind of where we are right now. So we're going to keep tabs on that. Now, and talking about in a video coming up on the 19th, that potentially could be to the upside, right? Because we are actually seeing, I think, quite a lot of profitability in the AI race. So they're putting all this investment in, and we're expecting 20 trillion in dollars in investment from Trump alone, which is just staggering. Given the US economy is about 28 trillion in income, that is a staggering investment. And we have seen adoption of AI being, around the world for multiple applications, both from retail and from businesses. So I actually think these businesses are going to be pretty profitable. It's not going to be like the .com bubble back in 2000, and I think that's going to be pretty awesome. So really excited about where this will head. So I suspect we're going to get some good results out in the video, and that will lift the market. So I do see that as bullish, not bearish, but it's certainly of concern and something to watch moving forward, because it is kind of, it's the big one that just hit 5 trillion, right, just the other day, and it's leading the market, the Magnificent Seven, up, right? So let's check out the news here around the Senate vote. So they had the 14th Senate vote in the United States, and of course we call it the Schumer shutdown. It certainly is the Democrat shutdown. These guys are radical. Remember, they're being the so-called moderate Democrats are being dragged, if there's such a thing, are being dragged to the extreme left because the party is getting taken over by communists. The globalists and that are running the party are being pulled over to the left. And of course, that was always going to be the case. They were the ones that use the left as useful idiots. But sometimes you can't control the crazy nuts. You can't control them, right? And this is the problem, right? It's just like the Islamic invasion of the West. They think they can control that, but they can't, right? That's going to be a bad outcome for everywhere. But that is where they are right now. Senate Dems blocked our 14th vote to end the Schumer shutdown. The final vote, 54-44. So they did pick up a vote there, but still 44 there. And of course, it takes 60 votes to pass the funding bill unless there's a change to filibuster. Now, I think they should be changing the filibuster, getting rid of it. And that would mean that the 51 majority takes hold because the Democrats will definitely be doing it. They're going to definitely get rid of the filibuster. That protection gives a little bit of protection but for the minority party in terms of passing policy. But we know that they're so radical now. The Dems will get out and they'll try and get rid of the Second Amendment. They're going to try and do lots of bad things to the U.S. economy and the U.S. people. They don't care about people at all. It's all a facade. They pretend they do, but they're actually the party that's against people. They're against people, and they make the world a worse place. So we've definitely got to keep a lookout for there. And if the filibuster does go, then the Republicans can do all the common sense policies that are going to be great for the American people and around the world as well. Obviously, has secondary effects for the rest of the world. And they'll be able to do all the good stuff, and that will be so successful that the people won't want to vote for the horrible Democrats because the Democrats are going towards communism and authoritarianism. We all know how that works. It's tyranny of the top. The elites abuse the people. The economies really struggle and collapse. It's a terrible outcome, and we already saw that under the Democrats, under the Biden era. It was just going to get worse. It's all kick-started, of course, from Obama. Obama was anti-American and anti-world, and he was destroying America from within. And so we saw that under the Bidens continuing that progress. And they already tried to remove the filibuster last time, the Democrats themselves, because they want to get rid of the Second Amendment. If you don't have a Second Amendment, remember, there's more guns than citizens in America, but it actually gives you defense against the government to some degree. We don't have that in the rest of the West. So, and in fact, they tried to confiscate them under the COVID lockdown areas there to take them away. Because that way they can, if they're a socialist, Marxist sort of globalist government, they can take away all your rights and you can't do anything about it, right? So that's what they're trying to do. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world, as many of you know. So that is kind of the results there. So in the 14th vote. Now, there is some people expecting that maybe within a week, the Democrats might capitulate, and certainly the leadership. But once again, the extreme left of the party, the ASCs and other, really crazy people out there are part of the problem. So they can't really control. They almost got this problem inside the party there. So we'll see how that goes. But I definitely think the filibuster should go, and that the Republicans should go 100% towards making great policies, and that would help them keep power in the United States. And of course, we also need the public, the free press, to continue to grow because mainstream media is so corrupt, working for the Marxists and the globalists, right? And their worldview is horrific. It's horrific for the people, and so we need at least a policy based on common sense, and that's what we need the filibuster removed. So I'm fully for that. So let's see how that goes, because game on now. It's all or nothing now, right? It's all or nothing. There is no we'll keep the filibuster. The Democrats will keep it. The Democrats won't keep it. They'll get rid of it, and they'll just run some of the most horrible things you could imagine through the United States. So it is game on now. Let's move on to the crypto markets. That's kind of our review of the markets. Actually, I was going to go through the Fed funds rate. So let's just do that quickly. I forgot to do that. So let's go look at the market expectations around interest rates right now for December. Very key, right? The interest rates is very key. We also know Richard Hart is always watching the interest rates very, very closely. So we've got 5 weeks and 20 hours to go. 10th of December is the federal funds rate meeting, 2 p.m. Eastern, and we have 66% of the market expecting a 25 basis point cut. So we still have, 2/3 of the market, the majority of the market, they're expecting a 25 basis point cut. And I think we're going to get it. Tom Lee, I think, is pretty bullish about that, talking about really mixed soft employment data and inflation. Even though it's at 3%, being a bit stubborn there, is not really risen from that point. And I think Trump's doing a pretty good job with the oil prices, trying to move down a lot of costs amongst key industries as well. That also, probably take a bit more time, probably another 3 to 6 months to get a lot of those industries. But he's been doing some pretty big deals there, particularly in medicine and other things like that. So we'll keep tabs on that. So that's where we are right now. Still on the potential to have 2/3 of the market there with the interest rate cuts. Now the other thing, of course, is that Jerome Powell time is running out in May, and Trump's going to be able to rejig that the Federal Reserve Board and get them to move to more accommodating policy to support the incredible job that he is doing. All right, let's jump over to the Bitcoin next. Before we do that, we've got to say hi to Craig. Hey, welcome, Craig. Big welcome. Good to see you in the house there. Yeah, pretty serious market correction there. We're going to get into that now. Let's have a look at where Bitcoin and that are at. Right now, we had a battle at 100K. Very important mark to actually fight. We got Alex in the house there. Like the video. Definitely smash the video. Smash the video. Bang, bang. And hit the like button, guys. Don't forget to share the channel around as well. Really appreciate that as well. So, yeah, be cool. All right, let's jump into the crypto market. Now, of course, we've had a massive shakeout. Second time, we had a liquidation event a little while back, and now we've got this event as well. So, yeah, Bitcoin. Let's look at total market. Unbelievable. You're going to close your eyes, guys. 3.426 trillion is the total market now. Oh, we were over 4 trillion. Remember, we were at 4.4 and a quarter or more. Now we're at 3.42, I should say, trillion. And that's down 5.3%. So definitely a major correction day there for crypto. We've got the Bitcoin at the moment at 101,163. It is fighting to stay at 100,000. It has popped below it intraday trade, but it's the key is that it doesn't close above it on the day close. At the moment, it's 100,177, down 5% for 24 hours. But this is a significant correction because it's down 10%, 10.4% for the week. And where will it close for the end of the day? Which I think, depending on when I guess UTC day, depending on which day you're looking at there, or at least the close of US markets. We've got Ethereum there at number 2, is at down 9.4%. So if you want to get up some cheap Ethereum, despite all the strategic ETH reserves buying it up, it's the marginal price can move, right? So this is the thing. So you've got to associate when we're talking about the bullishness of strategic ETH reserves buying. It's super bullish for the long-term play, but in the short term, the marginal price of anything can be sold off, right? That's true. Everyone knows that, right? So that is where we're at right now, 3,258. So a really nice discount for the old Ethereum there. and DCAing, scooping that retrace, because we always know that this can bounce back violently tomorrow in a week. So this is way cheaper than buying it at 4,900, which is where it was a little while ago. So food for thought there. Food for thought. Number 4 there is XRP, down 4.7% at $2.19. And BNB, BNB was into glory, right? It was $1,300 or so. That's down 6.5% today at $928. We've got Solana at number 6, down 7.7%, $152. And then we've got number 9, Tron, is actually up 0.8%. Obviously, that is a little bit more protection on the upside downside. That's sitting at 28.5 cents right now. And then Doge at the moment is down only 2.9%, which is pretty good. And that is at 16.1 cents. Cardano there at number 11 is down 5.7% at 51.8. But looks what's popped up into number 12 there, and that is Figure Helic. It's up 2.8% at $1.03 there, so getting a little bit of risk off there. Now, let's have a look at the best performer. Obviously, Tron up 0.9% for the 24 hours. The worst performer in the top 10 is essentially what's there. Let's have a look here. Ethereum actually down 9.4%. The performance over the last week is we've got Ethereum down 18% for the last week. So pretty dismal there. But what a great pickup opportunity for those that were, I don't want to buy Bitcoin at 49. Ethereum at 49 or even 4,000. You can now pick it up for $4,300, $4,260 actually. So that is the play there. Actually, Solana has popped up there at the worst one there, 20.8% down at number 6 there. So Solana getting hit pretty hard there. Now, let's quickly check out the top 100. We can see that there is some money to be made over the last week. Dash, and of course, is up 156%, I think, around the privacy. And we've got the internet computer, ICP there at number 52 is up 66% for the week. Zcash is up, 31% for the week at number 30. White Bitcoin is up 21% there at number 25, and it's the 4th best performer. And then Mincore, number 41, is up 10% for the week. So those 5 are up over 10% for the week. Best performer last 24 hours, Internet Computer up 30% there, and Mantle up 8.6%, Budget Token up 7.8%, Aster up 7.1%, and Mincore up 5%. So those are some of the hot performers in top 100. So there is money to be made even in this pullback amongst some of the top 100. Top 1,000, we've got Momentum, Qtus, and DJ Agent, D-Agent AI. Those are up and pretty crazy prices. Look at those increases there, 888%, 100%, 100%. So some of the risky ones there with some of the protocols up there in the top 1,000. Trending is Momentum, Predictions, and Internet Computer. Let's have a quick look at Momentum there because it's up so absolutely crazy. And let's have a look at the chart, max chart on this. I'm not sure how long it's been around, not long. November the 5th. So it's just launched. No wonder it's up pretty mad crazy. It's $3.44. And let's have a look. It's a finance application. Let's have a quick look at this. Financial operating system for the tokenized future. Operating system powering the next era of global finance. So that is up pretty hard. 440 million in TVL there. Not sure who's launching that, but probably something worth investigating there as well. It's got an app launch. Let's go look at the app. So it's got trading, obviously. What a day to trade. No wonder it's got a day to trade on the day to launch. Liquidity, 205 million TVL. Swap volume, 27 billion, it says here. It's on Sui Chain from the looks of it. And the vaults there, obviously Sui Chain is Raoul Paul, right? I think, is it Sui Chain? I think it's the one he likes as well. It's got portfolio there as well. Not sure if he's involved with this, but that is there. It's got the bridge as well, Sui Bridge. And it's got the leaderboard there as well. So I got some, I guess, traders there trading away. All right, so that is a pretty big deal right now on the old markets. So that is CoinGecko today, 3.43 trillion. And we've got Bitcoin there at 101,000, fighting to stay over 100K, and Ethereum there at 32.59. We have a little bit of increase in the last hour, but that is pretty much it. Now I'm going to move that away to Liberty Swap because we're going to talk about that later on. But let's get to the Bitcoin chart here. I think we've got the Bitcoin chart somewhere. A Bitcoin chart. All right, let's have a look at the charts here on the Bitcoin and pull that up. That is the Bitcoin chart right now. I'm going to get rid of the overlays because we've got lots of overlays there. And this is the weekly chart on Bitcoin. And we can see that, we're still bouncing around that 200-day moving average. So that's the one. Yeah, 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average is at 100,900. And we're at 100,900. So we're right on that 50-day moving average. So obviously, if we can defend that 50-day moving average, defend over 100K, those two key indicators, then we're probably going to be okay for the for foreseeable future. We'll check that out. Now the 200-day moving average is at 65,645. We have got some horizontal support here too, which is where we had resistance. So if we can get support here, we've got three junctions of support at the 100K mark. We've got the 100K mark, the 50-day moving average at 101 almost, and then we've got this previous resistance area here. So fingers crossed, guys. That's hopefully we can defend that line and have a good close there at the moment. So that is the price as we've seen it. Let's have a look at the hourly chart and see how ruthless that, or daily chart, let's say, and see how ruthless that was. Let's have a look here. So let me just reset the chart here. And that is what we're seeing today. That's the daily chart. Woo, 2 days pretty much. Look at that. Wow. And we were up at 110,000, and how quickly the mighty have fallen down to, we got down to 99,000 guys on Coinbase, and we're back up here at 101,000 right now. A very key critical junction to battle there. So that's kind of the play there on the old Bitcoin. Now let's go to where we are on the shorts and longs. Obviously Bitcoin there. Let's see here. Now, hopefully we won't have this gold on the daily. Hopefully we won't have a death cross here. That's where the 50-day moves below the orange line. That'll be a death cross. So hopefully we avoid that too. We have avoided it before. Remember this? Back here in April, we avoided the death cross there. We're going to do it again. That's the key, right? That's the key. So hopefully we'll get a nice little rebound from this and a nice close as well. All right, so that is where we are on Bitcoin. Let's go to the shorts and longs. Obviously, if you go long, you're expecting the price to go up. If you go short, you're expecting the price to go down. Now, obviously, price has been going down, so there'll be a lot of shorts. So let's have a look at the results here. In the last hour, we've had $219 million of wrecked people getting wrecked doing their trading, margin trading there. And we've got longs, 168 million wrecked, shorts, 50 million. So even if you go short, you can lose. You can lose. 4 hours wrecked, we had almost $1 billion. The majority, 70% of that was long. People expecting the price to go up because the price kept going down. Pretty easy there. 12 hours wrecked there, 1.5 billion wrecked, and 1.2 billion of it long and 325 million short. And 24 hours there so far, 2 billion wrecked in value, 1.63 billion long and 390 million short got wrecked. So, the longs got wrecked because the market was going down so aggressively as we saw in the Bitcoin chart. Pretty brutal. Now, in the past 24 hours, 467,548 traders were liquidated. Hopefully it wasn't one of you guys out there. And that comes total liquidations of 2 billion based on coinglass.com data. The largest single liquidation order happened on HTX exchange with the Bitcoin USD tether pair of 47.87 million, guys. Definitely hope that wasn't one of you guys. But hey, look, if you can put a position in like that, good. Good. Well done. All right, so that's where we are with the old liquidation. So pretty brutal out on the markets at the moment. Now that brings us to performance, right? So obviously October was supposed to be bullish, and it had been, for 6 years before that. Look at that, 6 years from 2019, 2024. October had delivered, right? And in fact, it's delivered all the way back to 2013 with only two exceptions in 2018 and 2014. And unfortunately, this year it was a negative. So we had a lot of turmoil. We have so many good things happening. Everything is like perfectly aligned. We do have a few turmoil things going on. So we don't have completely everything perfect, but it's, we've got so many bullish catalysts at the moment. But anyway, that's where we are right now. We've got November is currently negative 7.68%. So it's worse than October at the moment, but we've only just started November. Let's be fair, only 4 days in. And we're negative 6.8. So let's see if that can turn around into a bullish month for November. Now, November was probably going to be a bit shaky for the stock market, but no need for the crypto market to continue to actually move into its rally. And of course, remember last year we got 37% gain in November. Of October being 10%, we had 37% gain in November. So is this how are we going to perform in November here? And like I said, key dates really. moving in. I think we're going to have some crypto policy from the White House this month, I believe. I have to double check that. And then also, obviously, NVIDIA on the 19th is going to be the key, I think, the key stock market report there. That's going to be a lot of sentiment stuff happening there. Obviously, we've got some trade issues and this and that out there too, settling down. And of course, coming into December, we've got the interest rate cut, so which we just saw is 2/3 of the market still holding on to a 25 basis point cut. So we'll have to see a little bit of volatility, but still pretty optimistic about where we're heading for this leading into Christmas. For a bit of an altcoin run there, leading us into the first quarter and second quarter of next year. Now, what we have, so we've got here, we've got the last 2 years have been pretty green. So we'll see how that goes with the old Bitcoin performance. So obviously people getting wrecked, performance they're struggling on the old Bitcoin, but it's had quite a run up, of course, on the old Bitcoin there. And we've got to defend that 100K and then shake those people out and get our run for the end of the year. That's kind of where we're looking there right now. Who else has jumped in the chat here? We've got some more people. We got Sean in the house there. Reposted the stream. I appreciate that, Sean. Big shout out for that. Yeah, if you guys are watching, repost the stream. It's right there. We're doing pretty full coverage today, as you guys can tell. We got Wookie on the replay. Losing 103K Bitcoin is ugly. Yeah, well, we got down to 99, Wookie, and we're back at 101. So let's see if we can defend the 100K mark. We got horizontal resistance there, which hopefully will become support. We've got the 50-day moving average at around 101, and then we've got the psychological significance of 100,000. Those three sort of junctions there is being trying to be defended right now. Pull back to glory, says Sean back. Yeah, Sean. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that is where we are right now. Let's jump on into ETH. So we've sort of covered Bitcoin. Let's go to ETH though. And we do have obviously bullish buying, even though the marginal price of ETH can move down anytime. I mean, it just can. We've got the actual long term. We're thinking longer term here. Bitmine Immersion announced another update on the 31st. So this was 4 days ago or so. And they had bought another 82,000 Ethereum, and they'll be buying up like you believe at this price. Now that Ethereum's at 32.50, OMG, they'll be buying. They'll be buying so much. So we also saw the Aave DAOs just sell down a little bit there, 2,000. So now Bitmine Immersion is at 3.4 million, and they are well ahead of everybody else. And we knew that they were going to be pretty serious about heading towards 5%. So they're now at 56% of their target. Remember, they're going to buy 6 million coins. They got 3.4 million. So that's where they are. So they're continuing on. Some of the ones that are lagging behind, the SharpLink, who have got big, bold things to get 5% as well. Remember, they upgrade from 1% to 5%. So we're probably going to see some incremental jumps in some of these other players as they secure finance and commit as well. So that's kind of what we're looking for there. The other big one that we're looking forward to is down here at number 13 is FG Nexus. Remember, they were going to raise 20 billion as well. So we have to follow up on some of those. And of course, we've got the ETH machine up here as well. So that's kind of where we are looking there. Obviously, we've still got PulseChain still sitting down here at number 53 with a little bit of ETH left there. And it's still around a couple $1 million. So that's kind of where we are right now. Let's have a quick look at ETH Immersion. And we do have their buys in here. So that's all the way since, July the 13th. I think they set up their foundation and put their capital out on the 28th of June. I think it was 28th of June. And, of course, look at their buying. They've been very consistent. And Tom Lee's like that, right? Tom Lee's that sort of guy. And he'll be laughing right now at 32.50. He'll be this guy, man, I'm taking over Ethereum and I'm getting it for cheap. He's going to have such a cheap entry, guys. And then the market's going to continue to rally up to the upside. It's insane. That guy is just a magic carpet ride. Not only is he great with his calls and his analytics, but he's just crushing it on this on the Bitmine Immersion there. It's going to be truly, truly glorious. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now with the Ethereum. Looking at the treasuries, amount on the exchanges. This is a very key metric, right? So it doesn't mean that prices can't come down like we're seeing today at the moment, but longer term, it's just so hyper bullish, and we're following this very closely. So if we come back to when they were buying, so back here, you could see we had about 20.1 million. 20.2 million, 20.1 million on exchanges in Ethereum. And so that was huge, right? So that was huge. And we've come all the way down. Look at this. We're actually at new lows, guys. We're at new lows, even with the price down. we're down to 15 and 3/4 million Ethereum now. Remember, total amount of Ethereum in the market is 121, maybe somewhere in that ballpark. And here we are. We're down to 15.7 million on the actual exchange reserves. So it's plummeting, guys. It's plummeting. So the longer picture is looking just hyper bullish for Ethereum. And as Tom Lee says, he sees it as the best play over the next 10 years. And of course, he's helping to make it happen with the Bitmine immersion there, going for 5%, 6 million coins. And don't forget, we got people going in and out of the exchange. So yeah, we got a dip today, but man, picking up 3250 Ethereum, pretty awesome. DCA, of course, because it could always go slightly lower. Not pretending that I know where it might land on there. We can use a lot of TA to try and work it out. But at the moment, 3250 is a lot cheaper than 4100. It's a lot cheaper than 4900, which is where it was been recently. And of course, Ethereum is very useful there. All these institutions are still coming in to eat it all up. And of course, markets bounce back sometimes as fast as they go down. So that is kind of where we are right now. So pretty cool. Awesome stuff there. All right, so that is the Ethereum. That's going to lead us into Richard Hart quickly, but let's go back to the other screen and we'll get up to that. We've got another comment in the chat as well. We've got Moon Bear in the house there. We're about to fly. I like that. I like that indeed. I like your little profile pic too. All right, let's jump into PulseChain, guys. How are we doing for time? 36 minutes on the hour. We're doing great. And I hope you guys are enjoying the content today. We're trying to do a lot of the cool coverage. Let's get into the Richard Hart, man, because he's got this cool, funny image here. I think it's hilarious. But Richard Hart says best bull market ever. Of course, a lot of people not feeling that. We still haven't had like some of the majors are definitely run, and we're certainly seeing some pretty good performance in some of the top 100 and even beyond that, and top 1,000, etc. But the altcoin season really hasn't kicked in here, right? So we've been watching that Bitcoin dominance head towards 60%. So I'm not quite sure what it is now. It's probably one of the charts I should have brought up. But we are looking for, typically you see Bitcoin move, the majors move, and then of course majors like Ethereum, etc. move, and then of course you see altcoin season happen. Of course that was probably where somewhere in between there where we might reasonably see PulseChain pick up. But of course we know that Richard Hart has said recently that he's not interested in altcoin season. He's interested in PulseChain season. And that was a very telling statement because that meant that he's moving earlier than later. He will be moving later with potentially some of the big moves around the Pulse Sack. Should you believe in the scenario that he's going to be applying that to PulseChain, which most of us do, I believe, and we've seen a good signs to support that position. It is he can do a lot of other things before that. So that's pretty cool. He's got a lot of chess pieces to move, in our opinion, right? So not financial advice, but that's our opinion there. We got Moonbase in the house. Says liked and subscribed. I appreciate that, Moon Bear. Welcome to the Crypto Night Show team. It's really great to have you. All right. So yeah, if you're on YouTube, we're streaming on 3 YouTube channels: the Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and PulseChain X. Smash the subscribe button if you're watching right now, and hit the like button and hit the bell for further videos. On X, of course, you can hit the follow button at the top. Really encourage you to do that. As you guys know, the Crypto Night Show is a bit of a team, so it's not just me, of course. We have MVS Crypto in the house. We've got one or two others that are pretty close, and then we have a team of creative people as well that we deal with, as well as a lot of protocols and developers and KOLs out there as well. So we're quite much bigger than a lot of people think. The other thing, of course, is we do a number of things. We do obviously the live streams daily, typically 8 p.m. Eastern, but now at the moment down to 5 p.m. Eastern. And of course, we also do publications. We have the PulseChain Weekly Monster Thread, the main newsletter, which has been going for 26 weeks now, 6 months, guys. And I'm so proud of that. And MVS has been absolutely doing a great job as the editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread. We also do promotions, of course, for a lot of the teams out there. We run an ethical promotions operation on PulseChain and crypto. And of course, MVS Crypto is a promotional lead for that. And of course, I support that with a lot of creatives and other people. So we do that as well. And we also have obviously a lot of social media with Telegram, Discords, and all sorts of stuff where we've got communities in there, which is pretty exciting. So it really is awesome. We try to do our best to give the best quality things, but sometimes, occasionally there'll always be some bad actors out there, unfortunately. It's not always easy to identify who they are exactly, but that happens from time to time as well. So we do try and filter those out as soon as we have a good idea of what's going on, we deal with those. But in all, we're doing some pretty positive, productive things in the PulseChain and crypto community with our live streams, publications, and promotions. And we hope you guys enjoy it. We're really trying to help a lot of people do well in crypto, play our part, as it were. So if you guys definitely want to contact us, hit us up as well. Now, the last thing that we do, of course, is we have the Strategy Club. Now, if you haven't joined that, I highly recommend you join it. The link's in the video description on YouTube and also pinned to the top of the X profile if you want to join Strategy Club. It's only $35 a month, so really good value. And I'm constantly passing in intel in there, as you guys know, because I'm streaming and watching everything, every day. We're passing all the good intel there of some of the best projects and things like that. So definitely get on there. Pretty exciting. Now, all right. So it is a strategy club. It's not an investment club per se. It's a strategy club. So we're just passing a lot of intel and cool things in there. People can make their own decisions, of course. All right. So that's kind of where we are right now. Richard Hart having a good laugh. Best bull market ever. And that is pretty hilarious. I don't know what people have thought about that in the chat. But that is, we got a little bit of swap there replying. So one more post like this, and I'm market buying $100,000 worth of Pulse on the spot. Well, we know they're buying Pulse as well, which is pretty awesome. Matty Allen says blow off top was folks paying $366K per Bitcoin in November via Mr. Yeah. Good news is the bottom around 7,500K this month. Then we can march to 800 to 1.1 million before you know it. Absolutely. Markets can turn around very, very quickly like that. So that is some of the cool stuff there. Let's get into the PulseChain results, of course. Day 907, can you believe it, guys? 907. PulseChain, of course, launched on the 13th of May, 2023. It was a full system state fork of Ethereum on the 10th of May, and it's been operating extremely well for all those 900 days. So pretty awesome. We're having a lot of utility rollout on PulseChain, and we're starting to see a real boom in some of the projects that are launching right now. So we are in a boom period for PulseChain at the right time, I think, in the cycle. And of course, you're going to get some washouts before some shakeouts in the market before you get that next big run, right? And we've seen the second event for that. Looking at Pulse at the moment, we've got quadruple 0269 down 3.4%. We're going to look at the PulseChain chart today. We're at 27% of the mean sacrifice price. PulseX right now, quadruple 0176 down 1.55%. We've got the buy and burn on GoPulse at 8.01%. So we're past the 8% mark. It's so good. We did that yesterday. INC, $1.04 down 2.3%. We've got Hex at the moment on PulseChain, 0.6 of a penny. EHEX at the moment, 0.15 of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is at 0.75 of a cent right now. So that's where we are on the Hex. Moving to the gas prices, we've got 400,000 beats, so we're back on low gas. Remember, yesterday we had a big spike of about 3.6 million. Typically, we've been around 350, 400 lately, which is pretty low. We're at 4 cents at the moment for a PulseX swap at the moment. So really good to do business on the old PulseChain. Remember, PulseChain is, we brand ourselves as the people chain, the DeFi chain, and I think we're going to be branded as the privacy chain coming up pretty quickly as well. So, we're heading for all the right spots in the old crypto, especially with issues like Balancer, V2, they're having a lot of issues. It does appear that the Balancer forks on PulseChain, PHUX, and what's the other one? Tide, that they are okay. Particularly Tide's a V3, but apparently there were checks done on the V2 for PHUX, and it's apparently okay there. So that was good news. Some of the pools that were affected more Balancer-wide were not pools being used in PX, for example, apparently. So that is good news, and people will move on, I guess. Right at the moment, we've got 53,289 validators, so I think that's up just slightly from yesterday. The bridge value on GoPulse is sitting at 88.7 million. So yeah, we've definitely come down below 100 million, that's for sure. EHEX, of course, is dragging us down because that's down to 1,500th of a penny. But let's have a look at the snapshot and see where we are. I've got a snapshot from a little while ago, the 25th of October. So what's that, about 10 days ago? And we were at 6,300 ETH. We're at 6,250. So that's just not too bad. That's not too bad after 10 days. We're down to 50 ETH. Obviously, the price is down a lot. We're at 24.8 million when the price was up higher. We're at 20.4 million now. But the actual volume, and that's the key thing that I really look at, is only down 50 there at the moment. Obviously, the price does matter at certain points, and certainly it has mattered with the decrease. But hey, look, I'm really a bit more concerned with the volume right now. EHEX was 22.9 million. We're at 19.6. So we're down, about 3.3 million on the EHEX just because of the price. Actually, let me make sure I got the right one there. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong metric there. Oh, that was that one. Okay. No, we're down way more than that. Sorry, my bad. I was looking at the wrong one there. EHEX there is 22.9. It was 10 days ago. It's now at 15 million. So yeah, sorry, that's 7.9 million down on the old EX value. That's crazy, right? But we were up at 0.3 of a penny, right? So we were really way higher. Now, DAI was 19.9. We're at 19.6, right? So we're down about 300,000 on DAI. USDC there was 15.4 million. We're at 14.9, so we're down 500,000 on USDC. US Coast is the same. Wrap Bitcoin's pretty much the same, but the price is down, so we're down, maybe 230,000 on the value. USD Tether was 5.2. We're at 5.237, so we're up about 50,000 on USD Tether. So at least we've got a little bit of good news around USD Tether, and ETH really hasn't bled out much, so it's only down 50. So that's probably good news. But EHEX dragging us down pretty dramatically there with the market cap as well as some of the majors there. All right, so that is kind of where we are on the bridge. Let's jump over to the. I want to pull PulseChain stats up. PulseChain stats, and we're going to have a look at the bridge values before we get into the pulse chart. So that is the results so far. Let's get into the daily chats. Let's go to the bridge stats, and let's go to the daily inflows. Let's see where that is on the UTC. There's one timestamped at UTC, and we're actually up, guys, in the amount of dollars on the UT stamp. Now, this won't reflect. I guess this has just happened. I'm not sure what the UTC time is right now, but we had $900,000 in, 600K out, and of course we did have Liberty Swap bringing in some ETH as well, so that was pretty cool. And here we are at $276,000 net. So that's the last day. So that's good news there. All right, let's go to the Pulse chart and check this out. And at the moment, we've got Pulse price here sitting at 26.83. So we had to defend the 2,700 mark. That was so crucial, guys. As you guys know, we'd been touched it a couple of times before in the last month, and we really need to protect it there on the daily. We also I've actually moved down this angular support because we did break our previous angular support, which was up here. And so we have got that, but we really do need on horizontal to defend around this 27 mark and close on that right above the 27. We did pierce slightly through it down to 25.80. But there's 4 zeros, 25.80. I'm just taking the zeros away for those that are new. So 25.80, and here we are 26.83 at the moment. So yeah, very, very key there. So let's zoom out and have a look at that. At the moment, of course, we do have we did have a on the daily here. We did have a death cross here on the 50 to 200, and we've also had a crossover on the shorter time frame, the 9 to the 21 day here as well. So that's obviously down with this big ride down here that we've had for several days. I mean, how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row. So that affects sentiment too in the market, right? As well as having this day happen here. All right, so let's go broader, though. Let's have a look at the weekly. Before we do that, we've got the RSI at 36.6, so not completely oversold, but certainly on the downside there. Let's have a look at the 4-hourly, see whether we've got a little bit of uplift there. Yeah, we're down to the bottom on the 4-hourly, so we could get an uplift here and defend this 2,700 mark, which is pretty important. And let's see why that's important. Let's go to the weekly on the Pulse price and see that. We did have some, people clipping out yesterday. We were watching that on the, I think we're in the Discord watching that. So we had this. So I've lowered this this orange bar. So if you're wondering why this blah bar, sorry, I was almost about to say blah blah or something like that. Blah blah blah, says Greta Thunberg. It was more like this, right? But I've dragged it down because we've got a new one now. So we did breach that, but so that once we broached that, we had to defend the 2,700, right? And we did pierce it, but we got to close above it, and that's very important because we've got these higher lows, right? So we had the low back here in the week of the 31st of March, and then we had higher low here at 2,250 in June, and then we've gone trying to hold on to this horizontal line here at 2,700 and keep that that intact. Now it has come down a little bit as we just showed you earlier, but 2,700 we've got to defend that mark there, very important. And obviously we've had higher tops, high highs here, so we've got this channel that you can see in orange channel there, and we've got this long-term resistance that we've got to break out too. So That's very key. Now, we did break out previously of the previous resistance. If you remember, it was more like, let me get the right one here. Let me grab the right one. Yeah, so it was more like here, and we broke out. Remember that? We broke out and we came back in, right? And we haven't bounced out of that yet. But now we've got a new triangle here to get out of, and we've got this upward channel. So, just as it come down here, hopefully we're going to have a very violent move to the upside, right? That's what we're looking forward to there, and we get to move back up. So that's kind of where we are right now. Let me put the old orange here. So, we'll move up that direction. That's kind of where we're. Let me make that green, I guess. And we want to move up to that direction, right? That's kind of what we want to see happen in that channel. The alternative, of course, we're in this big triangle again, and that we bounce out of here too. So regardless of where even if we come back, up to here, and then we come back down to there, and then of course we bust out there. I mean, that's one thing that happened, but a bit more optimistic that hopefully we'll defend 2,700. And then move up to the moon there. Obviously in this period of time, by the end of the year, which is where this orange ends, it's kind of the end of the year. We'd be 5,700 just get back to this previous high. But this is suggesting that by the end of the year, if we have a good bounce back here, that we could go to 8,000, which would be pretty amazing on that as well. Obviously, we're going to need some settling down of things, some bullish momentum, and some new fresh capital to come in there. But excitement can pretty much happy. Liberty Swap, of course, playing a key role in that. We're going to talk more about that shortly as well. So that is kind of where PulseChain is right now. Let's look at the markets. 16.8 million. So we've got good volume relative to what we've had recently. But of course, we're in the down market, generally speaking. We have got some big moves going on in the markets. We've got Grimace. Now, Grimace, I think, gave a whole ton of tokens to Liberty Swap yesterday. I'm not sure who's running that team, but let us know in the chat if you guys know. But that's up 80% right now. Let's have a look at the chart. Now, I'm not endorsing any of these projects, right? I haven't really done my due diligence on them either. So we're just going through the top 100 as I always do. You guys know. So it looks like it had a bit of a rollover there, bounced at 0002000 on Grimace, and then it's just popped back up there. It's not very old though, is it? It's 1 day and 1 hour old. So there we go. But they did give some tokens to the Liberty Swap there, trying to get them involved as well. Everyone would, wants Liberty Swap to be their best friends. Not surprising. Liberty Swap did put the call out, So yeah, we got Sandy Beach in the house there. Hello, Superman, and everybody. Good to see you, Sandy Beach. We got the island life going on there. Sandy Beach there. Big shout out. Sandy Beach is one of our moderators in our Discord, and she's a very, very popular influencer in the community as well. So big shout out there, Sandy. A great person as well. Let's not forget that. And she said she got some great stories to tell. It's great stories about rock and roll stars and all sorts of things. She's pretty had some pretty cool things there. 00031.69 right now is the price of Grimace. We've got Mini Fin. Is it Mini Fin? Been around for 22 hours, up 65%. We get new tokens launching every day. And this is the chart on that one at the moment. So there we go. They got any comments about it? There's a story-driven initiative there, so everyone's legendary PCock and PN family. So there we are, jumping on the old Liberty Swap there. We got Briah. Now, Briah's a little different, so we're not moving away from PCock associations. And we got Briah there is up 37%. So a little bounce back there for the old Briah. And, of course, Briah looking to get support from Coinwell, Koinaki, Raka Michelle, Ms. Rochelle. Of course, Briah is Mrs. Rochelle's dog. And it used to be a little puppy, and now it's like a teenage rascal, but it's being trained and it can do some tricks. We watched that the other day. It's at 0003000 at the moment. Had got pumped today to 0004500. So why did that happen? Let's go check that out. Before we do though, Sandy says, "Oh, thank you. You're most welcome. You're most welcome." All right, let's give that a clap. Almost, I know we should probably do a clap. All right, so let's move on. So that's Briah. Let's go to Raka Michelle. And since we're talking about Briah, and Raka Michelle there, looking dapper in his GQ, put out this little post out here. And this he hasn't really commented on Briah for some time. Ms. Rochelle, who's the CEO of Coinbound, which is going to, as I understand, be the umbrella company that controls a lot of the protocols that will be expected to be launched coming up. Now, Coinwell, of course, is going to be the blue chip multi DeFi offering to to the United States. Now, Rackham, of course, has a big network of investors. He's a venture capitalist himself. He runs a couple of different type of businesses, and obviously he's been waiting a long time to be able to launch these. Now that PulseChain, of course, defeated the SEC with Richard Hart's leadership and his dream team of lawyers, he's free to do that now. So he's free to launch all these. And so we're going to have Coinwell, Coinaki coming, and there's at least 3 other different projects that will be launching, as I understand, under the Coinbound umbrella. Now, he put out this out today about Briah. He says, I wait, they underestimate, they will not end well. So obviously, Briah pumped on the back of that, and it's now at 3,000. So we'll keep a lookout for that. And that was from Rack and Michelle today. And pretty exciting. Let's see what people have said about that in the chat there. Briah official says, woof, woof. This is so exciting. Now, the one thing about Briah that I've said before is that they need to be a more open community. I think they're quite closed. There's a lot of communities in PulseChain that are closed. If you're out there in your community, be open, man. Be open. Now, obviously, get rid of spam and things like that. But I think you should be more engaging, more participating. It really is a very positive. The other thing, of course, if you're going to be a meme coin, you should be memeing. That doesn't mean you have to meme every day, but you should be memeing regularly. You should cultivate a culture of memeing, and that's kind of a promotion and marketing, not only for your brand, but also for PulseChain. So very important out there if you're out there to get out and do that. Very cool there. All right, so that has got a lot of people in there. We're pretty excited about that. Top dog on PulseChain. There's a lot of people out there like that. So obviously there's a lot of we've got other meme coins out there like Mitchie and others that are doing their thing. Richard Hart's former dog in heaven now, dog in heaven. So that's from Rack and Michelle. And so that's Briah doing pretty well today, up 37% right now. Communist volume, that's been around for 21 hours, so a new one there. I guess it's on the back of Communist, I don't know, but it's up 33%. And they've got a website there, Community First Tokenized Shares, it says. I don't know if this is legit. Sometimes you've got to be very careful with these sites because, they pop up. I haven't done the due diligence myself. But there's also, we're in an era of AI where people can make all sorts of fancy applications look like they're real, but they're not real, and they're using AI technology. So this may not be one of those, but this has just popped up as well. Just like to reiterate that, you've got to be careful out there. You're either dealing with, applications that could be not real, or you're dealing with people that, are basically, trying to play games and bad actors, as I say. So Q-Minutes there. Let's see if it's got a website. I'm not endorsing this, remember. We're just checking it out live on the stream, but you can check it out. It's got a referral code I see on there. So just going to the Communist app. You'll have to check with the official Communist though, and that is out there at the moment. So just be careful on that one. I don't know whether they got the mission of the Communist volume increase its value. Value of Communists, stealth launch, instantly bonded, unruggable, it says. So you got to do your due diligence. Whatever claims are made by any team, doesn't matter who they are, you've always got to do a lot of research to make sure it's the real thing, etc. So just be careful out there. We got humpback holders, been around for 8 months, and this is up being pumped today, 25%. So have a quick look at this. Been around for 8 months. I don't know much about this one either, but that is certainly the chart looking pretty aggressive there. 000 1900 market 126. So that's on the move there. Liberty, been around for 5 months, up 5.8%. Unity, which is from Cryptographics, and we've been following this one quite closely. That price is adjusting. Now, this is a down chart. We knew it was going to go down, so this is not a down chart. We knew that it goes down until the point it gets to about break even when supply is coming out, because all the supply is coming out. And at the moment, it's just ticking away. Let's go have a look at what day it is. Big shout out to Cryptographics out there, one of the big PulseChain and Titanx influencers. But now he's a founder, right? He's a founder now, and he's done some pretty incredible stuff with this. I think it's pretty incredible. We're going to watch this just to go through adjustment phase. It's day number 79. Remember, day 89 is when it comes out of goes into the third phase, as I call it, and then gets up to day 110 where we get it to the fourth phase, right? That's because of the way the tokenomics are kind of structured there. But let's have a look at the stats. Now, when people are, setting up tokenomics, some of the stuff is amazing. Now, let's have a look at the staked at the moment. So at the moment, we've got supply. So liquid supply at the moment is 19,000. So far, this is working out very well in terms of liquid supply. I expect the liquid supply to be low, and that's because, people can stake their totals there. So yeah, that's ticking away there. So we're still in phase 2, day 79, but we're getting pretty close. Another 10 days away, and we're in phase 3. So keep a lookout for that. Prices are just down to 17. Maybe it might get down to 10, 11 cents, just like we saw on Taurus, on the Taurus side. Let's quickly look at that at the moment as well. And let's see where Taurus is at. Taurus is at 8 cents, so it can get even pushed down a little bit further there. Day 118. We know that day between day 110 and I think it was day 140. You have to double check, but day 140 on the stats site, there wasn't a lot of inflation relatively coming out. Let's quickly check that at the moment. And before we do that, let's check the liquid supply. So liquid supply is 3.5 million. So this is a little bit of an issue in the sense that we expect a lot more of this to be staked. Rather than expecting to get a price appreciation there. So interesting stuff that I would expect a lot more of that to be staked. But we do know that Cryptographic has got a third protocol launching, which is going to be probably benefiting these. So we'll have to keep a tab on that. I'd really like to see his views on that. Go listen to some of his X Spaces. He gives really detailed updates on that. So that's pretty interesting. But let's go to Taurus, because this is like a future picture. Not exactly, but future picture, because the same protocols, but they've got different adoption and all that stuff. But it's probably similar to give a bit of a Blue's Clues about how PulseChain might behave. Although I do think it's going to be somewhat different there. Let's have a look at the profile here. So yeah, day 110 came out. So this is day 110 here with the total supply. There's accumulated supply. We had 7.7 million coins, and this doesn't take into account burning. So I think it's just the total coins that comes out. And then we had a very flat period. Look at this. So it's very flat right now. What we're day 118 was it? So we're around here 8.1 million. And then we're pretty flat all the way through. I would argue even the way through to day 157 or so before we start getting a ramp up. And we're going to be really interested to see the coin staking. Now, remember, the total max supply is 125 million, and then there's the burning mechanism, right? So, yeah, we might get Cryptographics on the show and give us an update about where he thinks that's all heading and his next big project that's part of the roadmap, right? So we'll keep a lookout for that. That is Taurus and Unity. Unity, of course, is the PulseChain version. Taurus is the Ethereum version based on Titanix. Let's have a look at the XGame. So XGame making a little bit of a comeback today, 1.8%. And in fact, it's back at the first target that I had, interesting enough. And we're going to be talking about XGame a bit more. So let's talk about XGame here. So this is from Firewell, of course, one of our two big public whales. And this had an amazing run-up here in the chart. And then a big sell-off. And there was quite a bit of drama about who was selling off and all that sort of stuff. But as you guys know, I'm not really a drama channel. And so that is there. So you can go find all that stuff. There's lots of influencers, with their opinions and, people tracking wallets and things like that. So you can go check that out on X. All right. So that is kind of cool there. We got currently at 72. Now we did wick down to 0.6 of a penny. So I had two ranges, right? I think I had 70, 200, which I think is kind of where we are, or 77. I can't remember. I had a conversation about it. Just can't remember exactly where, but it was up in the 7 somewhere. And then my next one was at 56, and we didn't quite make that. We're at so far we've hit 0.6 of a penny. We're currently at 7,200 of a penny. So the question is, has that finished its pullback there? So that is kind of where we are right now. We are waiting for SolidX news and the staking news, and of course new games and all sorts of stuff. But I will be doing a lot more coverage probably of XGame coming up. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Certainly, it is the high risk, high reward part of crypto. Just remember that it's not the more conservative, stuff. It's a more high risk reward, but it is a very big market in terms of decentralized casinos, and it is the ultimate. Has brought new technology really with the Web3 and game license. So it's got all that in play. So we're probably covering a lot of that stuff on X coming up. So keep a lookout for that. And I'll probably be playing quite a few games and things like that. So we got 7,300 for a penny right now is in the old price. So that is XGame. So we'll keep a lookout for that. But definitely looking a bit better today. Pump tires, which was down yesterday. Remember that? Pump tires, and it's still on the bottom. It's down 3.5%. But this could be a big beneficiary of Liberty Swap, right? So it could be a big beneficiary there. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. But that is down at 0.7 of a penny as well. Pretty close to the XGame price, actually. But that's down near the bottom of the range too. So this could be a nice little pickup. Now, obviously, I don't know whether they've got... did they do PCock pairs with it? I don't know. Check that out because they're pretty important. If you're going to get dragged up with PCock, you kind of need a PCock pair. We're talking about PCock. We have Vinny in the house there. Hey, everybody, let's go PCock. Absolutely. Now, if you guys are watching right now, we're an hour and 4 minutes on the live, so we're doing pretty good here. But don't forget to share the show around as well. Don't forget to share the show around. That's the link there right now. If you're on X, hit the repost button and smash the follow button on the top. Go up to the top right now and smash that follow button, hit the repost. Really helps a lot, and you get to enjoy our daily coverage of PulseChain and crypto. So there we go. So that's pump tires. Number 11 is, so those are top 10 essentially. Number 11 is Curve, up 1.7%. So we don't have a lot of big movers today. In fact, we've only got 5 on the trending table here, up over 10%. This is the sort of default view that's trending, and I go through it typically every day. Time dividend is up 1.6% there, and time dividend is the one we're going to talk about next. So let's do that. Man, it turned out pretty perfect. So we've got time dividend here. It's got this big range. Look at this. It goes up and down, up and down. It's pretty crazy chart. So it has really nice runs, and then it has pullbacks. You can see it in the charts. Pretty clear kind of behavior. At the moment, we're at 1900th of a penny right now. The RSI is coming back down to 39. Maybe this is the bottom of it. It's you might want to put some moving averages and other things into it, but definitely it's been around 40 on the last comeback. It was around 38, so it's kind of in that zone right now at 38. So it'll be interesting to see whether it holds up that previous history there on the RSI at this price, and if so, then it's got higher lows, right? Higher lows, 1200 here and 1900 for a penny here. So we'll see. Certainly good news coming out today. I mean, the news coming out today was spectacular. Let's go to the website quickly, and we're going to look at the news on the old time dividend and Internet Money Wallet. Of course, PulseChain's native wallet that's multi-chain. Let's go to the stats. You can download an App Store, Google Play, Chrome, and let's see where it is right now. So 98,947 was the last update up to the 15th of October. So next update is going to be over 100,000 downloads, which I think is pretty spectacular. And I can tell you that's going to be easy to do because of the news that's come out today. So let's talk about that. A big shout out to KG. This is really big news. So let's talk about this Internet Money Wallet here. And we've got KG says, want to talk about bringing awareness to PulseChain. Here's someone with 2.3 million followers that just posted about internet money, encouraged his followers to download it. That is mega huge, guys. It is huge. Fun fact, when they do that, they will be introduced to PulseChain regardless of their reason for downloading. Isn't that amazing? So absolutely mega there. I'm going to repost that now because it is such a big deal. So well done to KG. And the Internet Money Wallet posted out in particular. A major shout out to Matt Wallace. Now, I've followed Matt Wallace in the past, so I know who he is. He's part of a crew of guys that do amazing stuff. Thank you for bringing awareness to us. Matt is a legend with 2.3 million followers. Internet money is growing and gaining traction there. It is fantastic. That's huge, guys. That is absolute gold. Like, you're talking about getting out into the big world, spreading the word. You don't do much better than that. That's pretty amazing there. And Matt Wallace there says, one of my friends owns the only crypto wallet that protects your private data, and they can't even see it, while also giving you opportunities for passive income. I'm trying to help them reach number one. Isn't that awesome? I'm trying to help them reach number one. 2.3 million followers, guys. This guy's, we've been talking about the last, like 2 months, 3 months, that we were having all these big influencers coming on there. Of course, we had Xavier coming on. He's ranked like number 1700 on X, and he's got like 485,000 followers. He's been amazing in the community. And we've had many other large influencers coming on, starting to talk about PulseChain and the opportunities here. And so now we've got Matt Wallace out here talking about internet money, and he's got to be one of the very top influencers on X, and now he's talking about it. This is awesome, guys. That's why I said, even though the markets are down, we know markets can be, have 20 days a year. It's quite violent, 10 days down to 10 days up kind of thing. Well, we just got one or two of those big shakeouts before we go on to big glory here in the old crypto markets. So, and now we've got Matt Wallace. PulseChain is doing his thing. Richard Hart said, I'm focused on PulseChain's season and not so much altcoin season. Well, Matt Wallace is huge, guys. This is massive. So very, very excited. Sandy Beach says, love internet wallet and time. Yeah, with the time token, you get to share in the profits, right? You get to share in the profits which is pretty awesome. We got Brennan in the house there. Hey, super, the floor is lava. It is, and it's an opportunity, right? An opportunity to buy. Now, Brennan is our TEA guru in the Discord. So if you haven't joined our Discord, highly encourage you to join up. Strategy Club links in the video description on YouTube and also pinned to the top of X. Join up today, Strategy Club. Only $35 a month. Pretty awesome. If you just want to become a community member, I think it's about $12.50 or $15 somewhere in that point. So join up today. Links are there. We've got just the best community of people, man, in the Discord. So cool. Very safe place. We've got a help desk as well. The only PulseChain community, as I understand it, has a help desk. Get in on that as well. And we have all the links and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. Good to see us here, Sandy. Good to see you, Brendan. Says Sandy. We've got Heartwood Dog in the house there. Good morning, family. Great to see Heartwood Dog. Heartwood Dog, of course, is the founder of Pulse of the Fallen, the exclusive special anime series on PulseChain. And you got to check them out right now. They're showcasing the monster, which we're going to talk about later on. Now, Hog's in the house there, so I might as well talk about it. Congratulations, Hogs. I've added you into the daily show, Kryptonite show, price ticket at the bottom there, along with some other great teams, RhinoFi, Emmett, and now Heartwood Dog is showcasing there as well. Now, it does have a lot of zeros on their price chart, but that makes it easy to pick up. You can pick up a whole bag of Hog, just scrolling past us right now. And, of course, Emmett was the other one that we've added today on the Daily Show. Some really great projects showcased here on the Daily Show, on the Kryptonite Show. So congratulations, Heartwood Dog, with that. A great partner in the community. All right, so that is pretty awesome there. Huge news, guys. That is mega news. I'm just really focused on that. I think that's fantastic. Let's keep a lookout on these downloads from the next update. It's going to smash 100,000, that's for sure. And now we've got Matt Wallace there promoting Internet Money Wallet. And it looks like he's pretty committed. It looks like he's pretty committed there. He wants to make it number one. I'm trying to help them reach number one. How about that? Woo-hoo-hoo! Awesome stuff there. And that's some of the ratings there on thing. 156,000 views on that, guys. That is awesome. So kind of cool. I'm going to repost that one too. I think it's worth reposting both of them. So awesome stuff. Someone asked them, this is a new person. Does it accept all chains? Isn't that cool? Father of crypto, and he's got 48,000 followers, dude. Oh my gosh, you see what this is like? So you got someone with 2.3 million, one of the biggest, influencers on X, and then they've got people with 50,000, 100,000. See how it's just amazing. Network effect is huge. So this is really a big deal. And he's Matt Wallace go, all the main ones plus way more than MetaMask and Phantom. This is one of the reasons I like it. How about that? It's got all the chains on there, scrolling through those. Massive, guys, massive. We got Mr. O in there as well, Frank White, a lot of people in there. So isn't that great? That's huge. So great news there for PulseChain. Big shout out to KG, Matt Wallace, of course, and exciting times out. That is absolutely huge. And then Internet Money Wallet sitting down here on the down of a downtrend for how much longer, right? So very good chance this will bounce from there, right? Very good chance indeed. Obviously not financial advice, but man, what a catalyst as well. Let's see what else there. We've got the big handprints, and we got close to 5. You're close to 5,000 followers. Yeah, Sandy Beach, you deserve it. Keep up great work there. Yay. All right, so check it out. That's pretty cool. In fact, Sandy Beach hit me up on Discord. I've got to chat to you about some things, so hit us up. All right, so that is the time dividend. Let's jump over to some of the other ones that are on the move there. Now, I saw some mini meals at number 15. This was going to be huge on PulseChain, but apparently they're going to be moved to Solana, so we'll keep up to date on that. I really hope that they decide to change their mind on that too. We've got Phoenix right now as number 16. It's up 0.5%. And then we've got Hex sitting at the crossroads between green and not green. Hex at the moment at 0.6 of a penny. What a steal there right now. So that is really where we are on the markets. What do we ask? We've got going down here. We're going to scroll down. We've got a lot of Richard Hart cores down here in the top 20, 30. We've got Solid X there sitting at $1.65. Has that finished selling off? It looks kind of like it, right? So we're waiting for the staking pools, and that's come down here. It's just hit almost 70, which is almost 30, which is the oversold period on the RSI, and it is at $1.65 right now. So yeah, might do some more coverage of that coming up soon. That could potentially be a very good entry there. Let's have a look at PTC the Graces down here. And so this has been sold off too. Another one of the first DAO on PulseChain, the blue chip. And it's struggling to hold that green line that I've got here. It's gone down to 0001600. So I'm just going to say 1600 from now on. And it's got to a low of 1546 at the moment. So I know Prairie Banana has been doing some pretty good coverage of that, but at the moment it does face, I think it's going to do well in the future, but it does face competition from Vouch. and the other projects, like Liberty Swap out there. There is competition between stuff. Rotations happen a lot. We've seen that a lot lately, right? A lot of the rotations from one crypto to another, people trying to chase things. So that's also out there too. But once again, the first DAO, still blue chip operator on PulseChain, in my opinion. Not financial advice. Now we've got many others down here right now, down 4 or 5%, so around most token, Finvesta, etc. Sparta down here, 5.7%. Obviously, Hex down, so Sparta's down. It's got the Hex treasury, right? That's one of their catalysts. Top Hat with PCock down 6% there at the moment. Firewall down here, OG WebChef, world's greatest pedo printer, down about 9-10%. 9mm down 12%. Could be a nice pickup there for the 9mm there, guys. Whenever exchanges are down, that could be a nice little pullback. Had nice little re-rally, consolidated here in the bottom of the range potentially at 1.1 cent. Market cap only 1.1 million. So I think that's going to be severely re-rated, just like Internet Money, which has got its own trading, aggregator on there. You get to share the fees. Well, that there could be pretty cool as well. So 9mm, definitely some of the blue chips on PulseChain. PCock right now, sitting down here, down 12.3% after a big rally yesterday, right? So let's talk about that. Let's go to the top here, number 82. This is ranked right now. And before we do that, let's get into, let's just cover a few more of these others that are down here right now. Vault, we're waiting for the launch of Vault, so keep an eye out for that. That's coming up. That's down 13% right now, so it could be a nice little entry. And we got Vouch down here as well on the entry as well. So let's quickly talk about those quickly before we get into a Liberty Swap. And let's go to Vault. So Vault right now from Fast Abdul. Keep a look out for that. I think we're going to see more stuff from this with the launch coming up. So let's have a quick look at the X account and see whether they've got any particular updates on that. It goes to Fast Abdul's account, so you have to see. But let's have a look down here, and he's here for the tech 2 minutes ago. What else has he got going on here? Yeah, not sure if there's anything, but we're going to keep a tabs on this. The protocol hasn't launched, as far as I know. It's just the token, but we're going to keep a lookout for that. That launch is coming up. It's a big deal. It's something new. It's a multi-chain, multi-collateral liquidity fork, and it could be an absolute game changer there in that space, right? So having all those extra value adds could really give it a good value as a utility play moving forward. So it probably perform a lot better than the single chain liquidity fork, although saying that, we've still had 4 of the top 10 out of the top 35 or so liquidity forks in the world on PulseChain. I'm not sure how those values compared now. That was data's a little old, couple months old, but that is something we're going to be looking out for with Vault 369. So we're going to keep that on the watch list, guys, and definitely worth checking out. Vouch is down here as well. Vouch at the moment, of course, the biggest validator on PulseChain at quadruple 3900. So let's say quadruple 4000, just taking a little bit of a profit taking down here. Now the ratio to Pulse is the key one. So I have been looking at the US dollar ones, but the ratio is very important as well. Obviously, it's the more important in sense versus Pulse. That's at 1.47, so that's also down at the moment. So that might be entering on a good entry there for people. And you can check out the RSI and or do your due diligence, all that good stuff. But Vouch there is pretty much a juggernaut. And I think that's put a lot of pressure on PTC to graze, in my opinion. I'd be love to see Perry Banana's view on that. But that is where we are right now. We've got a couple others down there. Zero and Zendog are both down about 18%. Obviously paired up with PCock as well. PCock is down, and they're leveraged players, potentially with that liquidity, and so they get sold down even more. That'd be the argument, right? That'd be the argument. All right, let's go to PCock and have a look at the juggernaut in the making. Now, this is what I call an investable class. These guys are building a massive ecosystem on PulseChain, leading probably PulseChain into glory, is the way I would put it. And you can speculate further than that, as you guys have heard me sort of tease in the past. Before we do that, though, we've got a Steve Wonder in the house there. Do you think we go bear or bull from here? Well, we've got a bit of chop at the moment. In November, we were expecting a bit of choppy markets, but I'm still in the bull market. Whether it's from today is another question, but certainly coming up in November, I think we could get some really bullish moves into December. November, maybe, but December, still feeling very bullish about that, and particularly into next year. So I think it's all going to happen pretty fast, Steve, to the upside once we get through a bit of this chop. And things are coming down, and if we get the U.S. government opening up, we had the China bullish Asia tour with Trump, with the China and the other Asian economies with a lot of business deals, and at least another year of reprieve on the China trade, arrangements. So that's all looking pretty good. Interest rates, of course, is the key thing, I think, coming into the new year, as well as the NVIDIA reporting on the 19th. So those are some of the things. So, I can't give you complete certainty there, but certainly I think we've got more positive things rolling up. and also Trump's economic plans are going terrific. I mean, they're really terrific. So, and we don't see inflation really running away. So I think we're going to be in very good steads for a Christmas run and into the at least the first 2 quarters of next year. So that's kind of where I feel about that. We've got Blair in the house there. Hi, all. Good to see you, Blair. Big shout out. Welcome. All right, so let's get into PCock. Now, obviously, this had a huge run up. You can see the run up that we had all the way up to 2.915 cents, but the actual intraday trade got over 3 cents. So they're actually just slightly over 3 cents there, which is pretty terrific. It is, if we go to RH meme coins, let's go to that. It won't be as high as it was, but it was over 10,000x, which is the only RH meme coin up there that's done that. Of course, it also has eclipsed Most token, which was the dominant one on the RH memes. It's at 2.3 cents now. Obviously, got sold off with a bit of the chop there as well. And we saw it actually get down with quite a bit of volume on this pair, got down to 1.9 cents. So it had been only, earlier in the day, pretty much had been only that. So what's the time difference between that? So we'll look between that top and that bottom. So 34% in 22 hours. Welcome to crypto, guys. Best performing market, but lots of volatility goes with it. And that's 34%. But this is building out an ecosystem, right? This is not just a little project. This is building out an empire. It really is building out an empire, guys, of the most sophisticated, clever liquidity pools, bridging, all combined together. If capital efficiency combined together, this is really special. This is super special with the meme coin as well, tied into Liberty Swap and limited scarcity as well. Strong ownership, big burning, 15.5% burn. So it's got all these absolutely massive catalysts. It's scaling up. It's getting bigger. It's like a balloon that's blowing up. Boom, 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 boom. And it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And I think it is leading PulseChain into glory. That's how I'd put the PCock Liberty Swap there. Now, currently we're at 2.3 cents. Now, a lot of the capital that came over, we saw earlier that we had like $300,000 in net supply based on the UTC timestamp. Well, a lot of that ETH that's coming over is from Liberty Swap, right? So, and they've been buying up Pulse. They bought up Pulse yesterday, about $140,000 worth, and I think they've been buying more Pulse as well. They may even bring more ETH coming in as well to buy ETH as well. So pretty cool. Now, I could make some extra comments, but I'm going to leave it out on that. But that's kind of where we are. So they have been bringing capital and they've been buying Pulse near the bottom, right? So, I think they bought it at 2,900 and they probably bought it a bit cheaper now. But this is awesome that they're buying it off. They're getting so much volume at the bottom, filling up the pools, building out the ecosystem. That's like a dream come true because, it helps the upside, right? The upside is going to be dramatically even better. It's so cool off a low base. So I'm really excited about that. So anyway, the price got sold down a little bit there, down to 1.9 and is back up at 2.3 cents right now. So that is kind of where we are. Let's go to look at RH memes. I was only planning on an hour and quarter show, but it looks like we're doing an hour and a half show today. Doing an hour show today. All right, so let's drag that over. And we can see here on RH memes, let's go down to the yields here. So you can see the best yields at the moment. So Most token was the dominant, RH meme, right? And it was it's sitting at currently at 1700x from launch, right? So 1700x from launch. Pump Ties is 880 from launch, right? And those are the top three. Now PCock eclipsed that. It is now at 9,361x, but it was over 10,000x, right? And so once it hit 10,000x, Liberty Swap put out this post, said, well, 100,000x next, right? 100,000x next. And that's what they're building a system to do that, right? Remember that they've got a pretty aggressive burning as well as increasing the LPs and increasing the revenue. And that's the key thing. They've got all of it together. What other coin has that? Very few. I mean, Vouch is kind of a similar type of idea. I guess some of the utilities that have decent revenues and they're doing some similar strategies is a good idea. But this also has a bridge to it, right? So it has the bridge. And it's completely changed the game on onboarding to PulseChain, and it's getting all the volume starting to go through in its early days. So pretty awesome there. So that is PCock there. Keep a look at it. But that's eclipsed the old Most token. Most token market cap was 13.8 million, and PCock only just passed it recently, and it's already at $22.9 million. And so it's leaving it behind. And I said to you guys, Most token's going to be left behind. I'm not. It's a still good talk coin, but it's going to be left behind by PCock. Because PCock is pulling out, the Stargate to PulseChain, the Stargate to other chains, the gateway to PulseChain, whatever you want to call it. It's mega big. It's a big deal. All right, so that's kind of the play there right now. So we're at 2.3 cents. Let's look at some of the updates from Liberty Swap. So we're going to go back in time and check some of this. I think we might be doing a mega long live stream at this stage. Is this what we're doing? I don't know. It feels like it. But yeah, it's going to be a big deal. So 8 hours ago, we got good morning PulseChain friends. We've increased the transaction limit on ETH for PulseChain swaps now up to 10 ETH. So now people can do even more volume through this. And of course, we're getting all these influencers coming into PulseChain, spreading the word, right? And we had Ivan on Tech overnight giving Somi a shout out. He was talking about PulseChain again. And he's got, one of the biggest crypto promoters. Now we're getting non-giant, non-crypto people as well. It's awesome, guys. PulseChain really is starting to get that network effect, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, we got good morning, friends. We've increased the transaction limit to 10 ETH. Swap your ETH from mainnet instantly for PulseChain assets using our swap. So before you had to go through the bridge and you had to know how to do that, you had to claim and stuff like that. But now you can just do it. You can just do it. Liberty swap, and away you go. You're over there. It's on the other side within moments. It really is awesome, and they've made it so easy. All swap fees collected go directly towards strengthening the PCock liquidity. It's just fantastic. So look at that. They've got an example, 1 ETH over on Ethereum coming over to PulseChain and getting wrapped ETH on the other side. Absolutely huge, guys. Absolutely huge. Obviously, there's a little fee for that, and huge. Jack Heck says, nice, you guys keep on cooking, don't you? Most of the cooking right now is focused on increasing swap limits, expanding liquidity, and managing price impact for PulseChain assets. PCock is well fed. How about that? That's pretty bullish, right? Lots of stuff there. Well, I'm impressed with all you do. Well, we'll be in a new class of PulseChain holders ones who truly know how to hold and build things that last. So that's the other side of it. We're going to see people understand that Liberty Swap's really an investable project rather than a pump and dumper, and that we'll have a holder class that really holds, and that's going to be interesting too. So far, I think it's done pretty well with that, but it's still early days. And of course, we saw some of those people selling out. I did see a wallet too selling out today. They'll be gone, right? They'll be gone, and the revenue is going to keep buying up the coin, burning off the coin, building liquidity. And that person that left, they made a good profit, but they're gone. They're gone. So if this is going to do become $1 billion coin, it's 23 million now. Then they're going to miss out on that, right? And someone else gets it because they redistribute those coins to other people, and there's plenty of other people willing to pick them up. And once we get this negative sentiment from today's correction, it can all rebound, right? So it's just the way I think it's going to play out there. Let me start working around the clock. Yes, over the past 2 weeks, we've been working to improve liquidity and expand capacity of our swap. This will be a key factor in supporting PCock buybacks and burns. This is the whole thing. People must understand this is building up a huge revenue based on just the fundamentals of PulseChain with now a super fast bridge service and also liquidity pools that are across multiple chains and expanding. They're going to keep expanding from the low-hanging fruit chains to many other chains, and it's just going to become a huge empire. People that are selling out now, it's good on. They make profit. They probably got in really low because remember they're done at 10,000x, so they got in early. They still made a really good profit, but the upside is massive, right? The upside is massive. So pretty cool. So that's some of the stuff there. Now, remember, not any, take your own investment advice, and nothing I'm saying is investment. Just talking about what I see as logical and probable. So kind of cool. Let me scroll past it a little bit. They got their own group there, of course. So they have meme coin. They do memes. 7 hours ago. Good morning, flock. Since November the 2nd, we've bought a total of 10 billion pulse. So this is some of the pulse that they've been buying with this money that's been coming up over the last sort of 24 plus hours, and they've been buying. So they've been helping to keep the floor price up. We've bought a total of 10 billion pulse to reinforce Liberty Swap liquidity and strengthen all PCock pools across the chain. I did check out one of the wallets for that. That's definitely happened. Our long-term goal or grow our holdings beyond 100 billion pulse. Remember, that's their goal, right? 100 billion, which is very exciting to see them head towards that as a statement of lasting commitment to both PulseChain and PCock. More pulse and holdings means more fees, more token burns, more pulse PCock buybacks, stronger LPs across PulseChain, BNB, and Ethereum. And of course, we know they're going broader afield there. Now, obviously, they have to balance the liquidity, the capital efficiency, which they're doing amazingly, getting high yields on the capital efficiency in particular. Liquidity added overnight purely from swap fees looks solid and keeps improving. How about that? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. The bird keeps growing. The base keeps expanding. Full send. I love that. So some awesome stuff happening there from the team, and it's very, very exciting. Great commitment, says Alpha Baller there. The Pulse and PCock and Liberty Swap LPs is already solid enough to keep the bird moving forward. 100 billion Pulse is within reach, I think. Woohoo! That's awesome stuff, right? There would be no PulseChain. Someone says, this is how far they're going. Someone says, Rick here says, there'd be no PulseChain without PCock. PulseChain. There we go. That's pretty crazy. The flock is getting bigger and bigger, more solid. Yeah. Stronger together, full scene, well, now you guys must be loaded. Quite a contrast to myself then. We need to stay balanced with our fund management to survive the market. But if you keep holding your PCock, we're going to achieve great things together. Pretty awesome. Now, Inuki can speculate who's behind this project, as I have. And that's all I'm going to say. All right, so we've got 6 hours to go at the moment. No one can trade 1,000 coins and execute them all successfully without taking heavy losses and going broke. You only need one trade that changes your life. Hint, hint. In the last cycle, one great hex trade did exactly that. With the 10,000x, it changed countless lives for the better. This cycle, the real opportunity is PCock. Stick to it, stay patient, and let time do the heavy hitting. And that's the thing about being an investable class, and that's exactly what we needed on PulseChain, and it's very exciting to see it. So awesome stuff here having from Lily Swap there. Miss Dye, early PCock holder, the legend of P-Dye trades, the future law of PulseChain. Everyone will remember your name. Trade conservatively to win there. So that's a Miss Dye dreamer there. PCock to $10. They can't bet against an unlimited source of stable coin buy pressure at the low market cap. Getting priced out is only a matter of time, and that is for those selling now regret it. And of course, he's talking about these people here, right? These people in this red candle here selling out, and yeah, they made a tidy profit, but they're out bigger. That's the thing, right? If you're in something that's really going to be building an empire and you get out early with a good profit, good. It's always good to get a good profit, but you're going to miss if you're misdiagnosing the investment that you're in. Then you miss out on the big move, right? You miss out on the big move there. All right, so that's pretty cool. Buy the dip 5 hours ago. Now, someone asked here, I guess this one here, can users deposit Pulse or wrap Pulse or Pulse, provide liquidity? Well, we mostly operate using our own liquidity because we understand the risks involved with user funds. Cross-chain security is a serious matter. That's why we collect all fees and direct them into the PCock. Anyone who wants to share in Liberty Swap success can simply buy or hold PCock in a cold wallet. Let our buyback and burn mechanisms do the work. So that's a little bit of advice there from them. Let's keep going. So some good stuff happening here. Next step, I'll sell my umbrella to bid PCock. Rain or shine, the bird must fly. And they got cool memes here as well. Now, have you noticed that PCock do everything well? It's not just do one thing well. They seem to do everything well. And they've got quite a cool team. Now, the team is global, as I understand it, particularly around the service desks. So if they have any issues with any bridges, they definitely have support there. So 3 hours ago, we said PulseChain core coins. I don't know what they got in here, but the stake and chill, seek and destroy, buy and burn PulseX, buy, burn, and rise PCock there. So there we go. PulseChain core coins. They've added themselves in there. Who else would add in their own core coin there into the cause? You think about that one. That's the fun riddle for today. Maybe not so much of a riddle. Cheap coins exist so our contract can buy them all up. That's how wealth transfers quietly begin. That's right. That's what I said, with PulseChain pullback, people might be, a bit alarmed. Obviously, if your portfolio value is going down, I can understand that. But it's always an opportunity to buy in. But in this particular case, Liberty Swap is building out a whole liquidity pool empire, which is just to bring in all these fees. And so actually this price at the moment is a godsend because they just get such a big position at such a low price and they have a low base. And that just, the upside is just so much more tremendous. And that is pretty exciting there. That's how wealth transfers quietly begin. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? More Pulse and PCock LP. Woohoo! So pretty cool there. Very exciting. Now, obviously, if you haven't checked out their November roadmap, we did go through this a couple of times, and I covered it on the live show. You can go back watch that video, and we cover that live. Now, just talking about PCock right now, they're currently just over 2.3 cents, so making a nice little rebound recovery here. Now, in terms of the ratio to Pulse on this, we can see that the Pulse ratio got down to 710. Now, we were up at 1,035. That's 1,035 Pulse per PCock. And now we're back at 854 right now. So we're kind of in the zone. And so keep a lookout for that. It's always important. But yeah, it's just up and to the right, right? Up and to the right. And of course, they've been buying all this Pulse to fatten up the LPs over the last 24 hours. So, people exiting now, yeah, cool. Make some good profit, some of the early OGs. But redistribute those coins to new holders that will hold for a good period of time because this thing's going to be an absolute juggernaut. So pretty excited about that. So that is the chart there. Now the roadmap, just to go over this quickly, how we're doing for time, an hour and 34 minutes. Man, we're doing a super long show today. We've got November the 1st to the 8th, purchased 200 to 300K worth of Pulse. Now they've been doing that. I've looked at it on chain. So that's cool. I don't know about their second buy lots, but I think they've done that too. I'd have to go back and check that, but they definitely did the first part, about 143,000 or something like that. So definitely do that. And of course, we saw on Pulse Alerts the second amount of money come over. Now on November the 8th, Wrap Pulse routes go live. So we're coming up to that, guys. I mean, we're on the 4th of November now. So they may front run this date. I mean, this is their target date, right? But they may front run this date. Wrap Pulse routes go live, enabling instant movement of Pulse between Ethereum mainnet and PulseChain. And this is huge, right? So Pulse back and forward. We already see stable coins. We already see ETH. Now we've got max per transaction 1 billion. All fees collected will go to the PCock. So you can see what I mean? The business empire is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so they're hitting all these metrics at once, right? They're buying the PCock, they're buying the Pulse, they're fattening up liquidity, they're burning. It's all happening pretty fast, and they're expanding, and they're dragging PCock up and Pulse up as well. It's pretty exciting. November 15th, PDI network deflationary routes go live. Now, obviously, that's a big community in PulseChain. They're going to be super excited about it. You got lots of big influencers like Somi and many others in there that will be loving this. So that's going to be pretty cool. We got decentralized. All these guys are going to be super excited about this. The PDI deflationary routes go live, enabling cross-chain movement between Ethereum mainnet and PulseChain. And then, of course, the other big one. So we've obviously got stablecoins and ETH. ETH is coming. So we've got Wrap Pulse. They're going to have wrapped ETH PulseChain to ETH mainnet. Woohoo! That's a huge one, guys. That's huge. And two-way bridge launches. All fees collected will support the PCock liquidity there by midweek. Then at the end of the month, we've got Railgun coming in. Now, I thought this might come in December, but they're looking at the end of November for this. This is pretty awesome. Railgun to PulseChain bridge. There's privacy. Now, we talk about PulseChain being the people's chain, the DeFi chain, but we're about to be set up for the privacy chain as well. And of course, privacy, getting valued in the market right now, very important there. So Railgun to PulseChain bridge goes live for privacy-enabled transfers. Super huge, guys. Awesome stuff. So the other big thing, of course, is the process. People can, buy stable coins, DAI or ETH, etc., on Ethereum, Solana, Base, BNB, Arbitrum, and then using some of the key onboarding for the United States. Coinbase, Robinhood app, right? 2 out of the big 3. I think it's Binance USA is the 3rd one, if I remember rightly. And then we've got Kraken and, of course, ZKP there, or any other trusted on-ramps, and you can do it for 0% fees. So you can buy those coins, transfer them to your own wallet, and, of course, then visit Liberty Swap and bridge over the PulseChain. That's how easy it is now to onboard. Pretty awesome. Now, we also have other good onboards, right? We've got Hyperlane up and running with HexScout. We've got, and Ramp now is involved up there, and we also have, probably another 20 other sort of forms of bridges. But this is now so super slick. It is so amazing. And, of course, all the fees there going to push up PCock, and they've got PCock to $10 there. And, of course, this video was amazing there. So amazing that got a couple of copyright hits on the music or something. But that's it. That is the old PCock there, and it's so pretty funny. So kind of cool there from the team. And that is the roadmap. So very, very excited about PCock's heading. Currently just below 2.3 cents, sort of fighting around that mark right now. So that is the old PCock. Now let's go have a look at where that is on the rank here. As you guys know, kind of the first sort of milestone was where will it be in terms of the top 1,000. Now it hasn't obviously got there yet because the price pulled back. It's back at 1,224 position. But we do need, I think we need to get about 3.4 cents. So I think that was the mark approximately based on our analysis the other day. That would get us to about 30 million market cap based on the other day's data. That's probably easier now. But number 1,200 right now. So 1,224. And if it gets in the top 1,000, then it will get free advertisement, right? Because it will potentially get on the top late gainers list in the top 1,000 and get some free adverts. And of course, there's so many people watch this that are actually in crypto, whether they're in CFI or DeFi, they'll still see that and maybe even hit the trending there. That will pick up a lot of eyes and a lot of potential capital will flow, right? That's the kind of the logic there. So pretty huge. And that's some free press there. So we're heading towards that. And I think that's a cool another milestone. I don't know if we've got 300 here. Let's go see what the cakes to get in the top 1,000 right now. We're going to go slowly and surely. Only has 300 on the page, so I've got to scroll all the way back, way back down. What do we got there? We'll go page 4 because we're going to the top 1,000, right? It's page 4. And let's scroll down to the top 1,000 and see what it takes to get in there right now for PCock to show up in that top 1,000 mark. So one more. Where are we up to? So yeah, at the moment, 27.6 million. So when I did it the other day, it was 30 million, just over 30 million. Now it's 27.6 million to get up there. And what are we at the moment? About 22.3, 23 million. So we're only about 4 million or so away from getting the top 1,000 on CoinGecko with the market pullback that's on at the moment. So it's even easier than it was. So bring it on. That's all we can say. Bring it on. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And so let's have a quick look at what that would mean in terms of maths. So what are we at here? We're 27 point, let's say 27.6 just to make it nice and easy. We're going to obviously find the PCock price right now. Let's go look at that PCock price and pull that in. And PCock right now is at market cap of, well, it says 90.5 million here, but on the PCock thing, I think it's 22, 23. So let's just take their market valuation here as it is at 19.5, and it would divide that by 19.5. That's the one they're going to register, right, when they do the re-rate. That's a 41.5% increase from here. Very, very doable, right? Very, very doable there on the old PCock. So keep a look out for that and watch PCock rise, right? As PCock rises, could be pretty awesome for PulseChain. Pulled PulseChain up as well, and all the pump tires. Remember, we're expecting a lot more things around front end for pump tires, etc., and things like that. That could be pretty awesome. And the other big thing, of course, is the meme coins, right? Is this on a journey to becoming one of the top meme coins? There's only 8 meme coins that were over $1 billion. I'm not sure if that's true today because the market pullback. Let's go check and see how many of the coins are actually at $1 billion right now. Let's have a look at this. Meme power. All right, so we've got Doge there up at 24.6 billion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 now. So we've gone from 8 to 6 because of the market pullback. We've got 8 coins that were over $1 billion meme coins. Now we're down to 6. Now, obviously, if we get a market bounce, then Pudgy Penguins and Bonk will both jump back up. But that is the mark right now. So only 6 coins over $1 billion. And PCock, is this one of those? Is this going to be one of those magical coins that goes up? A utility-backed meme coin that's going to do big numbers like this, and of course put not only PCock on the map as one of the top meme coins in the world, but also PulseChain, lift PulseChain up as well. Just one of the main things that could help PulseChain to do that. We're obviously seeing a bit of an explosion in influencers now covering over PulseChain, which is really the first. These are all early signs, right? And then of course got Richard Hart on the move with the ETH, so it's lots of cool things happening. We've got big projects launching, the big whales launching projects. We've got now this juggernaut of an ecosystem ramping up with Liberty Swap. It's exciting, guys. It's exciting. So you just got to, pick up the good stuff, hold on, and ride for glory. Ride for glory there, and it's pretty cool. Now, I've got a couple of things to finish off there. Some of the other project teams that are out there. We're up to an hour and 42 minutes, so I'm really going for a mega live stream today. But we've got PulseChain out there, so big shout out to them. P402 web payments are now live on PulseChain, so that's super exciting. The first and only HTTP 402 infrastructure on PulseChain powered by PulseChain, and monetize any API with USDC, so you can accept USDC. Free verification API, so it'll verify on chain and then tell you that they paid you. Micropayments and more, and you can find that now on pulsecn.io.p42. Now remember, they had only, and if you checked out the monster, they only just reached $500,000 in volume, so it's just creeping up, people. So people, I don't know, they're a little bit under the radar, the old PulseChain, but before long, they're certainly growing. They're just secretly ramping up there, so it might be worth checking out there. So they're on the move there. They've got lots of different features there. Some of the real world examples, premium video there. So maybe you had a video that you were charging for tutorials. They pay you. This will go back and check that you've been paid, etc. They've got API monetization as well. Developer builds a crypto price API, charging 1 cent for the use of it, and then they can confirm that they got actually paid by the user. They've got news paywalls as well. Could have a news site there, pay 50 cents to directly add to the article, and the payment there will verify on chain, and the article will unlock. So it's got some cool stuff there. AI agent commerce, as you guys know, PulseChain just launched the commerce site API, so people doing commerce like websites and selling stuff can use it. Autonomous AI agent encounters 402 response. It will automatically send 5 cents there, for example, to its wallet, to the API provider's address. and it all does this all without human intervention. So some pretty cool stuff there from PulseChain. So definitely worth checking out. These are, I think, a climbing utility that's just going to grow and grow and grow. So big shout out to the team there. And they should definitely hit up MVS Crypto if you're out there. Hit up MVS Crypto. Well worth doing that. So yeah, past 500 million volume. Very cool stuff happening there with that. And of course, recently they announced the commerce side there. I think that was up here. It's got a commerce somewhere. So very cool. Good stuff happening there. All right. So the other big one that we had is PulseChain Stats. PulseChain Stats out today. One of our big new information site on PulseChain. They there said that the PulseChain RPC, they've got a PulseChain RPC now live. There's a public one, so you can bypass all those bot trades, botting you out on the main RPCs. The first and only community team run PulseChain RPC for the public. We're now helping make PulseChain more decentralized than ever, while helping reduce the load off the main RPC, and of course, hopefully bypass all the bots that are going to front run you on certain moves sometimes. All for free. rpc.pulsechainstats.com. And you can view that there as well. So big shout out to them. All right. They're doing some great stuff with their site, of course, with the information site. We've been using that too. Definitely one of the major 4 or 5 information sites now on PulseChain, and the newest one, right? All right. So that's pretty cool. Finally, let's get to the Monster Thread. If you haven't checked it out, MVS Crypto, he is the editor-in-chief of the Monster Thread. 26 weeks, guys, of this. Isn't it amazing? MVS really puts his heart into it. And he is also the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show, and he's going to be doing some new things soon. So keep a lookout for that. But in any case, the Monster Thread number 26 is in the first 6 months. So it's amazing, guys, absolutely amazing. Of all the hottest news around the community, definitely check it out. It is pretty amazing. Look at all the awesome stories. So if you've been busy, or if you want to onboard someone to PulseChain, this is the perfect newsletter to update. There's the main PulseChain newsletter. And it also has some of the best people, best stories in there that are doing some really active stuff there around the world. And it's a very neutral publication. So just anyone who's doing something, then it gets put in there. So if you're doing something and it gets picked up, it will definitely be the case there. Now, we will be expanding the reach of the audience into the Monster Thread as a publication, of course, of the Crypto Night Show. And we're going to be expanding the reach. So you're going to see a lot of new people in here. So keep a lookout for that. It's going to be pretty awesome. But man, some fun stuff in there. You can see some of the incredible stories, a lot of honorable mentions as well. So, keeping a lookout for things that may not be so much newsworthy, but are certainly cool. And so we add in honorable mentions in there as well. So if you're doing something that's maybe not necessarily news, but is pretty interesting, you could make it to the honorable mentions. And we've got some great people on there. Mr. Onazuka, Brandon, Mental Gains in there this week. So pretty awesome stuff. We also have some of the hottest projects on PulseChain. And as you guys know, not only do we do live shows every day, we do publications, we do social media like X Spaces, which we've got another one coming up soon. So keep a lookout for that. We also do promotions as well, and we cover some of the best teams. We've got Hut Dog, we've got XGame, we've got Rhinofy, and that's pretty awesome stuff, right? So awesome stuff happening there. You've got Hog to the Moon there. Pretty cool. You got Rhinofy, and of course you got XGame in the mix there, along with some of the best information sites on PulseChain, including Pateas, PulseX, 9mm, Liberty Swap, and things like that. So pretty amazing there. At the bottom there, you'll be able to find the Strategy Club as well. You can join up to the Strategy Club. That is at the bottom there, and I highly suggest you do that. So pretty awesome stuff. We got some pretty awesome showcases there as well. Hog to the Moon with their latest Chronicles episode. You've got to watch that. We're just so lucky on PulseChain to have a anime series, and these guys are dropping just absolute bangers. And it really is awesome there. Episode 1 and 2 of the Chronicles of Hog, Somi, and Andrew Tate. Definitely got to check it out. That's part of episode 1 there. You're looking there with Greta Thunberg and many other great characters. We also got Rhinofy, of course, profiled. It's one of the most innovative treasuries out there on PulseChain. They got a big Pulse treasury, and I think it's going to be an absolute moon once PulseChain gets on the upside, and they're managing that very well. And their artwork is just second to none. Look at that stuff; it's so good. And then, of course, XGame. We're going to talk more about XGame coming up. It's on PulseChain BSC base, and I believe Solana soon. But there's a lot more stuff coming from this team from Firewell, so keep a lookout for that. And we're going to have lots of other project teams coming up into the Monster Thread. These are some really good committed communities that have been here for a long time doing some good stuff. And, occasionally, we can get some bad actors, and we definitely close those out as quickly as we can. But we have lots of different filters for that. But in any case, we've got some of the best project teams in the mix here in the Monster Thread. So definitely share it around. I'm going to post a link to that in the chat. and you can share that. It's a great newsletter and some of the hot projects as well. So Monster Thread number 26 weeks. I just can't believe it myself. We started 26 weeks ago, and here it is 6 months later. That's amazing. And look, I mean, it gets huge tens of thousands of views. It's really amazing. And we're in a bear market right now on PulseChain, so you can imagine when PulseChain takes off, it's going to be absolutely huge with the amount of viewers. And getting all these big influencers in the house is really, really amazing right now. All right, so that is the link there to the Monster Thread. I'm going to post that also in the show. So if you're on X, let's post it now. And you can also get access to that. Let me just jump down here a little bit here and go there. Bam. All right, let's post it here. Monster Thread. Monster. I guess we say read Monster Thread. Monster. Always have problems spelling online. I don't know, on the live streams. Monster Thread. A number 26, and of course we've got number 27 coming out on Monday. So if you're a project team out there, either hit MVS up or myself and get yourself in there, because it's exciting times, guys. It's exciting times, and I think we've already gone through so many of the fundamentals on this live stream. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. We've got Rocket Man in there. He's pretty excited. Rocket Man. We've got Invest Jordan. Almost every whale has just opened longs on BTC and ETH the past hour. Yeah, so we're probably getting a little bit of reversal there. We'll keep a lookout for that. So that is exciting times with the old PulseChain. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. You just never know. You never know, right? We may get one of these things happen too. I don't know about November, but maybe in December we could possibly get one of these. What do you guys reckon? It could be pretty exciting.
You could get a god candle. You could get a god candle at any moment. Giant. You could get a giant green candle at any moment. It's easier to get. It's easier to get them. Less economic because there's less of it for sale.
All right, so we could get one of those. Maybe December. So keep a lookout for that. It's always possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's been fun doing it. Man, what a mega show. I haven't done an hour and 50 minutes for ages. We're going to be doing a lot of new things coming up too. So look out for that. We're going to have some pretty big live streams with some guests, a whole panel of guests. That's one of the things we're going to be doing moving forward. So keep a lookout for that. So it's going to be covering different categories or ecosystems on PulseChain. So keep a lookout for that. It's coming up. And obviously, we've got a big ramp up in the Monster Thread. So we're going to be doing a couple of expansions there. So that's going to increase both the reach and some of the content that happens in the Monster Thread every week. We're coming up to week number 27 on Monday. So if you want to get in on that, let us know. So that's pretty exciting stuff. And we've got another thing up our sleeve as well. We'll keep you updated with that. That's coming soon. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. I've enjoyed it, and what a mega live stream, 1 hour and 51 minutes, and talk, but that's what we do on live streams. We talk. All right, okay, hope you enjoy it. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button on YouTube. PulseChain for the win. DCA for the win there. Pick up some of these juicy deals on the market, and hope you guys enjoyed the content. We covered so many teams, didn't we, today? Lots of teams. We're going to cover lots more teams in the market. We really are trying to get a good balance of supporting the teams out there. And we've got lots more things in that direction. We're really going to be going a lot more fully in that direction. So hope you guys enjoy it. We've been around for 6 years covering PulseChain and Hex. And who knows how many more years in the future. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, take care. And I'll catch you in the next one. We got a final comment here. Someone to give a final comment? We've got Baseman in there asking me a big question in the end. Well, I can't really answer that now because we're wrapping up. Just a shakeout, mate. And all the fundamentals ahead. All right, take care. Bye for now. I'll catch you in the next one.